Yusek Cheryl Caballero po.
Hello, Mayor. Nice meeting and finally.
Hello.
Mayor. Director Joseph.
Maupo kayo. Halika, maupo kayo. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Very timely ang dating ninyo because our group just went to what you call the study tour in Singapore with regard to their goal of food security. They changed it from 2030 goal. It's now 2050 goal, wherein they are now going towards to food production from 10% to 30% ang goal nila sa 2050. Because they also believe that, like Manila and Singapore, although Singapore is a country, but the setting is the same, highly urbanized. So how can they produce their own high-value crop or food within the country, although they will continue to import because isa sa problema ng Singapore talaga is space. So we were there, whether it is private sector, educational institution, tapos government. We saw it. We're very excited and we're just thinking of how can we duplicate such thing, and that's why thank you very much for coming in. Hopefully that someday somehow we can come up with a program that will also that can we can inculcate to the minds and hearts of our students and the people living in a highly urbanized setting that pwede pala tayo. Tsaka alam mo, pwede kang magtanim ng sili sa bakuran mo. Magkano na yung sili? 1,000? Oh? 600? Oh? 600? O, imagine mo yun. Eto, araw-araw, magsasawa ka ng kakasili, pitas ka lang ng pitas. Okra, halos every week, nagpo-produce ka ng... these are the things that... anyway, I'm just excited hearing from you. So again, welcome to the city government of Manila. Thank you.
Magandang umaga po, Mayor, and sa inyong mga kasamahan. It's actually an honor to meet you personally, knowing that you have been championing all these efforts to make Manila a better place to live. So, food is one of the important aspects of sustainability, and we had the opportunity to meet your wonderful team. Originally makwento ko lang kung how we were able to come up with this. Aside from, of course, the ever-present ASEC Bebang. She's the ASEC of everyone. Whenever you talk of rice, hindi ho ba? So we were actually, since high-value crop portfolio is in my oversight, ang tanong ko nito, taas-baba yung presyo. And food inflation is one of the most challenging things to address, especially when a household has a very limited income.
Yeah.
So contextually, sa side naman ng ating farmers ay paano natin sila maiinganyo so they would be able to produce efficiently and safely. When I say safe, they can probably reduce inputs that can affect the environment and at the same time yung health ng tao. Alam naman ho natin, kasama natin sa isang mga batang farmer, he's on the second generation, si Ardan Copa. So we've been working with sa highland vegetables naman ho.
Yung mga farmer natin sa Southern Luzon, particular, yung mga milk producer natin, ang laki ng customer nila dito, 21,000 mouth every other day.
Every other day.
Yes.
Ay, laki.
Direct from the farm to the mouth of our kids. Yung milk production o mas kilala ngayong your milk.
Okay yung branding.
I did not make that. The team, the cooperative, the farmer.
It's a good
Now,
branding.
we're gonna expand by June.
Very good.
Yeah, para sa aming mga mamamayan na bata. Oo. From 21,000, I think it's going to be, our next target will be 62,000 kids.
This will be your super kids in the next generation.
I hope so. That's the goal.
Yes.
That's the goal.
Because you are intervening
Mm.
in the early growth ng kanilang brains.
Yeah.
And
Mental
this is something that we should be able to look into. Producing the super kids for the next generation.
Kaya ito naman, maganda to kung sakali. Because I was informed already by the SDO, Director, Superintendent Lumeda, na may mga nangyayari ng urban farm sa school. Baka it's high time for integration, collaboration of different schools, and producing common product to have a scale.
Yes.
Yung scale kasi is very important thing.
Yes, yes. So it's nice that you mentioned that because I heard that you have 4 million population during daytime.
3 million, about 3 million.
And then
2 million
2
nighttime.
million during
Nighttime,
night.
yeah.
So that's a huge
Market.
market. So pinumpisan mo natin doon sa rural-urban nexus, yung connectivity. Kasi alam mo naman natin at nabanggit ko kanina that the space constrains us from producing sustainably. And so we start by looking at what reliable groups can you work with. Pumasok dito yung partnership natin sa Macro Asia muna.
Yeah.
Because they are the premium market where the farmers produce will be graded according to class. Kasi i-incentivize din natin sila para makita nila yung differentiation when they have a better product rather than just a product. So, ito ay magkakaroon ng market segmentation. And so, for premium products, we can have a market for them. Yun yung lens natin sa ating mga farmers so that they will have sustainable income source. On the other grade of products, which is generally for mass consumption, this is where we connect with Metro Manila. So, meron po kasing resolution ng MMDA noon na hiningi ang tulong ng DA na magkaroon ng permanent kadiwa centers all over Metro Manila. So, I think we still have that.
Sige.
Unfortunately, Manila did not sign.
Talaga? When was this?
Fortunately or
Nasa
unfortunately.
din po. Di ba pangarap ako siya?
Can you send it to me? I'll sign.
Yeah. That was my opening
Really?
statement.
The only Manila did not sign in the last administration.
Yes.
Ayun, boss. Ito. Ito yung
So this
rice.
was 2024.
Bakit kami baka gulo yung mga?
Kanina na yung Pangulo. Sige.
Hindi pa pala ako mayor niyan.
So
Buti na lang.
Kadiwa centers are being requested to serve as the hub for fresh, locally sourced agricultural products. And then 17 LGUs from NCR were there. Sige. And so this was approved by the chairman and most of these mayors.
Salamat.
Except Manila. So kahapon, during our first meeting, I said, maybe this is an opportunity for the mayor
Yeah,
to
we will know.
make a big statement.
Well, even in the absence of the participation of the past, as you all know already, as I have said a few minutes ago, we're happy for our kids. They get proper nutrition, and also they happy to align ourselves with the National Nutrition Council goal. And another member of the DA family, which is the National Dairy Authority, is benefiting from the action of the City of Manila. Tapos dalawang bottom line, the farmer and the parents of the kids in the city of Manila, economically. So ang target, bata, lumusog. Sa pamilya, nabawasan ang gastos para magbigay ng nutrisyon sa kanilang mga anak. Kasi yung pamahalang lungsod ang gumagastos. Tapos, it works with national government direction. That's why we are now escalating it, reaching as many as we can, as fast as we can, because stunting is a universal issue. Not this government alone, national government, this country alone, but all over the world. Maraming mga stunting incident, particularly ang Maynila. So that's why, tapos ito na yung kung po pwede kaming, to create more open green space for air quality, which ang partner namin, DA na naman, dahil BPI, yung Bureau of Plants. The same manner, sige, while we're greening, then maybe at some level of tonnage, a highly urbanized city can produce its own food. Kasi we went to a place in a 1 hectare rooftop producing 80 tons every year. 80 tons, no? Crumb top, sir? Naalala mo yun? Crumb top? 80 tons of lettuce. That they're crop, comb crop. Yun. Isa lang yun. Yun yung outdoor greenhouse. Meron pang mga indoor naman. Galing talaga. Nakaka-inspire. Kaya lang, they're really ahead of us in terms of technology. But it's not a rocket science thing. So, we'll support you. Sabi mo kay Kiko,
Yes, sir.
padalan tayo, pipirma ako. Kawawa naman ng Maynila. Mga batang Maynila.
Left behind, no? So to segue from what you were saying po, before I go to the other component, Gulayan sa Bayan was reinvented. Yung purpose po natin ngayon ay magkaroon ng right source ng planting material. So seedlings production po ang tinututugan natin to make sure that the reliability of the local food system is there. We work with individual farmers and commercial farmers.
Yan yung pinag-uusapan namin.
Okay, so incidentally, Mayor, inaantay lang po natin yung paper from the DepDev that the Gulayan sa Bayan is a national priority project. Meaning, lahat po ng ahensya na nabanggit to converge will be working together. Tsaka may plus factor pa po yun. A private sector that will donate for that project, tax deductible.
Yun yata yung nangyari sa NDA, no?
Yes.
Sa NDA, ganun din. Doon ako na-inspire nung dumating ako doon sa convention. Yung assembly, parang meeting. Doon ko nakita yung atas.
Yeah. So we focus on ano ba ang normal na kinakain ng mga Pilipino. And so we prioritize this as part of the choices ng ating Gulayan sa Bayan.
Yan pala English nun? Lady's finger? Yung okra?
Lady finger. So, na-inspire kami, Mayor, sa isang batang nanalo sa Young Farmers Challenge. He won 50,000. And this kid from Benguet produced yung siblings niya. At doon niya naka-empleyo ng 8 tao. And he became our inspiration that our farmers pala ay hindi nagtatanim dahil mahal ang buto. So what we did was to give this component for every community, 1,307 sites all over the country, so they can produce reliable seedlings from the Institute of Plant Breeding. So ito ho tinugunan natin, and we have allocated some of that amount. So, yung mga nagtatanim ng lettuce, all they have to do is buy this seedbed. Sila na ang magtatanim sa kanilang mga pako or whatever na lugar. So, it's an assembly type kind of management. So, they can just focus in growing while somebody is doing the seedlings production, which is kumikitang kabuhayan. So, ang tinutukan natin sa unang salvo is the group of women yung mga rural improvement club para hindi lang sila nagmamarites. No? They find ways to earn while, talking and learning and earning. So, 60% of that they can sell. So, may mga commercial farmers pa dyan, bibili sila ng mas murang halaga yung seedlings. Kasi nare-reduce yung planting period naman ng magsasaka. So, that also provides them reliable seedlings rather than seeds. Kasi para maiwasan din namin yung complaint na yung mga pinapamigay namin buto ay hindi nag-germinate. So, it shields us from those complaints. 30% is divided amongst themselves. Parang sweat equity nila, bayad nila sa kanilang sarili. Then 10% they can donate for community-based feeding programs or for paaralan or gulayan. Ito ho yung mga photo ops natin. No? Kung saan nag-partner tayo sa JICA para turuan silang mag-graft ng seedlings. You can produce year-round off-season vegetables because your kamatis is more sturdy with the rootstock galing sa talong. Kaya may kablong. Kablong. So, kamatis ang taas, bunga, talong ang rootstock. Mas matibay yung rootstock. So, you can produce year-round. Ang patola that works for ampalaya, pero rootstock is patola. Ito ho ay training na ginawa natin kasama yung mga experts ng JICA, ng Japan International Cooperation Agency. So these are targeted communities so that they can produce year-round. Yung picture ni Secretary dyan ay hindi kasama, but this was a photo confirming that what we are doing is also being done in Cambodia. And so that is the key to their food security. Seedlings is the lifeblood of our food system. So it has to be made available year in, year out, and it doesn't have to be expensive. So sa Japan, 99% of their farmers know how to do grafting. So why don't we teach it to our farmers as well? So yun yung bentahe ho ng ating seedlings production. So in the city, it may not be as applicable, but you can still grow your microgreens. Munggo, we import large chunk, 38% only yung ating food sufficiency. So, ang munggo na
Ito yung biyernes, kinakain niya.
So, madaling itanim. Why do we have
sa urban
to
setting,
difficult
would
for
possible.
ourselves? So, yung urban naman, nakikita natin ito yung mga microgreens. Because this is high in protein. Pwede mong patubuin. Di ba, toge? Kumakain naman
Toge.
tayo ng toge.
Toge.
Yeah. Lumpia. Kumakain mo ako pagka gusto mong pagbawas ng karne. Di ba? Ang sabi lang, misnomer yung paghaluin mo. Sabi nila nakaka-rayuma. Kung pinaghalo mo ang toge or ang munggo sa karne, dapat walang meat. Because yun yung nagkukos ng
Rayuma.
So these are microgreens, and we are partnering with our training institutes na mga grupo para yung mga syudad maturuan natin ito at magkaroon ng hanap buhay at paraan para kumain ng sapat with the protein intact as part of the platform. So, herbs and microgreens. So, Gulayan sa Bayan is an affordable project. We only invest 100,000 for every site. And we have built 1,212 community nurseries and 1,370 municipalities all over the country. So Rural Improvement Club at saka 4-H Club po ang ating target. That will now connect us to the ability now of the community naman to produce. Ang tanong lang dito ay saan nila ibibenta. So, eto mo yung discussions naman natin ngayon. We have the Co-op Kadiwa Kiosk, which was actually a request by various LGs sa MMDA. Naumpisa ito doon sa P20, of course, ni ASEC Benbang. Dapat may kulang naman. And this is where we come in. So, this is how it looks like. Back to back. That is in partnership with the cooperatives supporting the production. and other cooperatives, billionaire cooperatives that can help us in the infrastructure. So walang investment ho ang PA
LGU.
dito.
Ang LGU wala
Ang
rin
LGU wala din. So, i-run mo yung cooperative kiosk. So, this is how it looks like. And this is how it will be operationalized.
This program begins with a simple promise that every Filipino family deserves affordable food and every farmer deserves fair and reliable income. It is a national system that directly connects farmers to communities, starting with 35 kiosks across Metro Manila in the first 6 months and expanding to 200 kiosks nationwide in the following year. Each kiosk is operated by the local government and supplied by farmers' cooperatives. Every day, 10 essential commodities are delivered to each kiosk, including garlic, onion, tomato, cabbage, eggplant, squash, sweet potato, string beans, okra, and mung bean. This means thousands of kilograms of fresh produce move through each kiosk daily, helping lower prices in communities while giving farmers a stable and real market. The program has 2 stages. In the first 6 months, the 35 Metro Manila kiosks are launched as fresh food distribution centers. Prices are clearly displayed and continuously monitored to protect consumers. Every kilogram sold is recorded digitally using QR codes and point-of-sale machines, ensuring full transparency from the farm to the family table. Behind every sale is a secure financial system. All collections are deposited daily into a special account that automatically breaks down payments. For every kilogram sold, 10 pesos is directly released to the local government to support kiosk operations such as staff wages, electricity, and daily maintenance. All remaining funds go to the cooperative as a single bundled amount that already includes the cost of production, equipment, processing, logistics, technology monitoring, and transaction management. This system removes delays, prevents abuse by middlemen, and ensures farmers are paid on time. Once the Metro Manila pilot becomes stable, the program expands nationwide to 200 kiosks in the following year. At this stage, processing units are introduced. These facilities wash, sort, slice, dry, mill, and package surplus produce that would otherwise be wasted. Garlic becomes powder or paste. Tomatoes become sauces. Vegetables are dried and milled. Mung beans become flour and protein ingredients. These products are sold through kiosks to institutions and to export markets, creating new income streams for rural communities. Technology ensures accountability throughout the system. Sensors monitor volume, temperature, and quality. QR codes trace every batch from farm to kiosk. Real-time data on prices, volumes, and settlements is visible nationwide. This prevents diversion, hoarding, and profiteering. Everyone benefits. Farmers gain stable income and guaranteed markets. Local governments gain a reliable food distribution channel. Consumers gain access to affordable, fresh food. And the country gains a stronger, more resilient food supply system. This program is not just a food project. It is a national system for food security, rural development, and economic resilience. It turns every community into a market, every farmer into a partner, and every purchase into a step toward a stronger Philippines.
So that's the end of where we want to go. And yun hong complementation and partnership, hopefully with the city, would be a big trigger to allow our farmers from the rural areas have access to market and consumers naman have access to reliable food system.
If we produce a product, somebody will buy it from us.
Pwede din po.
Sila yon.
Sila po
Co-op.
actually yung co-op na nagpo-produce ngayon. So,
Halimbawa kami, sa school namin, let's just say, I have X number of schools and times X number of available plantable space to produce a particular crop done by our students through our learning, sharing of knowledge and inculcating to the minds and hearts of our students that, we really need to learn this type of approach for future proofing. Sila pwedeng bumili.
we can work both ways po. Caritas Manila
Okay.
is working with us.
Good.
I've met with Father Anton already,
Yeah.
and even the Archdiocese of Novaliches can be a supply group or a
Good.
consumer group. So
Yeah, I like them also, the Caritas.
Yeah.
They're here in Manila.
we work both
Father
ways.
Anton.
Ang tinitignan po natin, even Manila itself is a consumer.
Mm.
So, the schools that can produce products, hindi lang namin dala yung aming munggo eh.
Ah.
But magpapadala kami ng aming munggo at mga, what they call this, tomato chewy.
Oh.
Kung yung mga, instead na mabulok yung mga tomatoes, it can be turned into chewable, food, snacks. So this will now revolutionize the way the students or the kids eat their snacks.
Yeah.
Kasi pwede mo itong maging parte din nung kanilang food processing, food innovation training. Incidentally, we have also dehydrators or projects na nakakolekta yun. So to us, it should be a business model. It should pay for itself. And the government connects everyone on board because we are in itself a consumer base.
Yeah.
So instead of us importing so many things, why don't we do it ourselves and understand how the production and consumption are interlinked? So the beauty of Manila is that it's a younger population. So pwede natin tignan yung ability ng mga bata to look at technical vocational training and look at food processing as part and parcel ng kanilang kabuhayan. So yung model natin sa rural area ay seedlings production in a way. Maybe we can also have part of that when we look at herbs and spices and offer it to your hotels. We just have to do the proper training para, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks time, mapaikot nila yung capital na yan.
So we could work with you para yung mga bata meron din kaalaman
Yes.
para ma-utilize na maayos yung mga lupain doon sa eskwelahan.
Yeah. Para end of the day, kumikita sila while learning. And this is where you inculcate both the ability of the family to access healthy, safe food, and at the same time, process something that will be the source of their livelihood and enhancement of nutrition.
Anong subject ngayon ng DepEd ang ano?
Sa K-12 po yata.
Meron ba yan doon?
May tinuturuan yung mga bata.
Sa TechBook. So they can get credit if the kids participates in such program. They get grades from that.
training program.
Yesterday or the other day, meeting namin ng school ng district superintendent ng Quezon City. So they were there and they wanted to be part of this activity. So I suppose nung nagkausap kami ni Secretary Angara during the Tatak Pinoy event, because I sit in the Tatak Pinoy Council, sabi niya maganda yan because it will provide alternative sources and practitioner yung mga bata sa bagay na malapit sa kanilang sigura.
Full security nga para. Yun yung gusto ni Yorme. Meron din ng full security tayo
And
sa
at the same
Manila.
time, learning sila. So, kausap naman natin si TESDA para merong kaakibat na skill sets that can be certified by TESDA so that when they graduate, they have certain level of competency. Micro-credentials. We're working on the micro-credentials. And in discussion also with UP Los Baños, we may even come up with some levels of giving certifications from the university. Para meron siyang yamang factor na hindi lang ako natuto, I am certified and I have these credentials. Because not everybody would go to a formal schooling right away.
Like
Yes.
But
UCLB.
they would earn, in countries like in Australia, for example, you don't go straight to college. You can do your technical vocational earn and then
That's
go
what they're
back to
doing with
college.
IT and Republic Polytechnic.
Singapore.
RP.
Singapore.
Gulat ako, ang dami lang estudyante. Pero it addresses the market.
Yeah.
Yung jobs that are available in market, it ano kagad.
Address,
Kaya may trabaho kagad yung ATABS eh.
If this is your track, Mayor, I think we can sit down with the Adelaide group sa Australia, Southern Adelaide, Southern Australia. Because I had that meeting with their test ahead, and ang tinitignan nila is yung, what we call this, protected cultivation system. Kasi sa kanila, like one group produces mushroom for the entire country. And so, Filipinos are the ones picking yung button mushroom, computerized yan, air-conditioned lahat. So, ibig sabihin, the skill sets that you can learn, basic in production, seedlings, etc., can be upskilled again to a level that you can have your own enterprise, make utang ka para maging kabuhayan to yan, or you can go for employment, and there are countries that are looking for that. So, if that will be your track, we can probably have the discussion with Adelaide, South Australia, whom we can contact. And incidentally, yung representative ng Australia-Philippine Business Council is here in the Philippines for a 2-week visit. So yun kasi tinitignan nila, wala kasi silang manpower doon eh. So, hinahanap nila yung credentials. So, yung micro-credentials niya na pinag-uusapan natin ngayon ay mahalaga para they can find, alternative sources of income. And then they can come back and do their own thing. So what we're saying is that it doesn't have to be difficult for people to move up the ladder.
Yeah.
So, the food is a basic component for survival. So, but then, if you want to build it up in terms of the basic human needs, then you can do that in a way na may struktura, may system, and partnerships will be a very important mechanism. So,
may livelihood component talaga.
Yeah, you work both ways. Yung affordable, accessible food to everyone, the dense on nutrition, skilling, and livelihood. So, empowerment comes when people have the choices,
Yes.
the ability to choose, and the ability to perform. And so that is the platform that we're looking at. So, incidentally, under the urban agriculture naman, which is still under my oversight, nagpuput up po tayo ng mga protected cultivation system. We're still improving this. This took off because yung cyclone natin, yung mga bagyo, ay naapektuhan yung ating mga pananim. And so, tracking it from the period where we have this disastrous storms, what has to be done? So, tumadalas yung mga bagyo. And this was validated by several studies. Sige, go ahead. Para mabilis. And so the establishment of the protected cultivation system is a way that the Secretary wants to enhance. Kaya nag-launch siya ng White Revolution. So White Rev, because you see all these white plastics or white shields that covers the space. So year-round makapag-produce ka niyan. So, sige. It addresses the wind speed, precipitation, humidity, and temperature. And so, we have different types according to the climate and the situation. So, ito yung sitwasyon sa Benguet. So, yung mga strawberries natin sa La Trinidad, ito a certain extent are covered by this. Pero hindi sa kanila kasi ang taas ng lugar nila, medyo limit pa rin lahat yan. So, sige. So, we have low tunnel. This is in Bukidnon. This guy was employed by a flower farm in Malaysia. And when he learned the technology, he started putting up his own, and bamboo was his, yung support niya. And he's making money, like 75,000 every 2 weeks.
Hindi kailangan pa malaki yung spasyo?
Depende ngayon
Depende.
kung paano mo imamahal.
Sa ano yung produkto.
Kung ano yung produkto. So, in this case kasi, flowers yan.
Kaya sinasabi ko, yung scaling up, common product. Kahit malilit ang space, when it is multiple, it produces volume. Volume creates market. Parang viable sa...
And then you go to value adding
sa
processing para wala kang wastage.
Correct. So year-round talaga.
Yeah.
Ano yung buo?
Plastic.
Plastic lang yan.
Sa ordinary?
Hindi, may ano yan,
Ayan.
may particular thickness.
Poly.
Yeah. But that's in Bukidnon kasi malamig.
Ah.
But in some places, they don't eat plastics. So, eto naman, yung
Net.
ibang Puerto Princesa, meron kasing 50 hectares in Puerto Princesa. So, we visited that and this is how they run it. So, may mga net houses and screen houses. If the investment is higher, then you can have this kind of
Ano naman na tinatanim usually sa net? Net mesh.
Yung ipinuntahan po namin sa Tarlac, Taiwan Technology naman to. Talong.
More on ano to, no? Pest control naman to.
And very much on nung kung mag-OOA ka, organic agriculture, antimano, pwede mo siya greenhouse.
Oh.
So, ayan. And then, ito naman, polyhouse. Ganon din halos, plastic lang ang gamit. Ito sa malalamig na lugar.
Yan yung mga Netherlands.
O yung mga Kalakad, mga Bukidnon, ano pa ba, sa Bugya, sa kanila.
Saka sa abroad, no?
Sa
Mga
abroad.
malalamig, may
Yung-
snow.
Yes, opo. And yung isa naman sa Canada, for example, glass house ang ginawa nila. But the glass house was meant to supply Costco. So, mayroon
Yung
silang
supermarkets.
specific market before they invest a year
Correct.
ahead.
The contract growing na in a
Contract
way.
growing yun. So, that will last for 20 years, 25 years. So, controlled lahat ang temperature. Even the pest monitoring. So, ito yung mga greenhouse with soilless. But we are not investing here kasi medyo mahal yung maintenance. We still have to address some of the problems in the past. But that's just to show that these are examples. So, ito naman yung model natin sa what they call this, Batangas. Ito po yung sa Denso.
Ano tawag yan?
They have a muskmelon mayor. It's like 500 to 750 per kilo.
Mahal yun, ano?
Yung muskmelon.
Oo.
Kasi it serves a premium market.
Pero maliit lang to, no?
Maliit lang po
space
yan.
yan.
Maliit lang.
200 square meter o 300
Inaayos lang namin yung dito sa may metro, dito sa may kilometer zero. Kasi nag-partner kami.
May nakita nga, sabi nga ng BPI, meron daw kayong ginagawa dyan.
Inaayos mo po. Kasi kailangan i-repurpose siya. So, pwede doon ng muskmelon.
Okay, nice.
Mahal. Mahal.
Nice.
So, sa mga farms outside Metro, may mga Batangas. Yan. So, it is fully controlled. And
And-
it is speed.
Understand?
Oo.
Plastic.
Mm.
Pareho na dun sa...
Automated. Pare-pareho lang actually ng design. Importante lang, ma-withstand niya yung bagyo. Tsaka yung temperature, ma-manage mo. Kasi pag hindi din, para kang nasa sodo sa loob. Pag hindi maayos, mainit masyado. So these are the elements that we have to provide in terms of technical support.
Pero ano pa rin sila, no? Nasa lupa pa rin.
Nasa parang paso.
Paso, pero yung paso ba diretso sa lupa?
Hindi. Yung
So,
paso,
buo siyang paso.
para makontrol mo yung yung mga weeds, yung mga peste, tapos precision. Tumutulo lang yung fertigation papunta sa kanya.
Fertigation na gamit nila.
Fertigation.
Sa
So,
through drip system.
Yung drip, so may fertilizer mix siya at 80.5. So, that can also be done. And then, yan, ito yung mga greenhouse framing naman. For our greenhouses, that can be the source of your seedlings. So, yan. Ayan mo yung mga ginagawa natin ng terms of reference kasi over the years ay hindi na-establish base doon sa klima tsaka sa bagyo na dumadating sa isang lugar. So, we are in the process of standardizing it para kahit sinong entity ang maging partner, meron siyang reference. Meron siyang proper guidance. Yan. So, this is an example of the cost. The Taiwan model is in Tarlac. Ito naman yung sa Cordillera. Ang ginawa naman ng partners natin ng Farmers Group, binigyan lang natin sila ng materials. So, sila naman yung nag-counterpart ng labor. May mga ganun mong arrangement. In the case of sustainability, we see that one single net house will not survive yung economic
Return niya.
continuity niya. So dapat at least 10 o 20 para
Na 100 square meter.
may volume ka.
Ah.
May volume ka. Yung sinasabi yung continuity ng supply, it has to be predictable. And so because you will hire an agronomist, you will hire a pest management practitioner, specialist, may business manager ka, may marketer. So it's really a business that has to be operated on. So may mga ganong combinations na kung tayo na ginagawa.
So at 1,000 square meter, 700,000. At 100 square meter is 571,000.
Magkakaiba yung range. So, ang pagkakaiba kasi niyan, kunyari, ang terrain sa kanila, diba? So, mas masinsin yung mga poles na ilalagay nila. What else can happen? So, this is the breakdown of expenses, of course. Kasi nagpo-cost benefit analysis kami.
Hindi, saka malaking bagay ito sa farmer.
Yes.
No? Kasi halimbawa, yung bata, the next generation want to do farming. It will now be based on science and business. Meron na siyang technical know-how, idea. Is it worth it to plant okra on this space? Or maybe magsili ako dahil same effort, maybe same technology, pero yung cost is pare-pareho. Kaya lang, pag ito pinili kong produkto, mababa ang balik sa akin pag ito pinili kong produkto. And usually, the new sets of farmers understand those.
Yes.
Unlike in the old ways, kasi talagang kung ano yung nakasanayan na nila, which you cannot blame them. Yeah.
Yes.
Kaya,
Because the technology
pag may ganyan
and the
kasi
know-how
kayo,
is not there.
pag available kasi yan, ang gagawin ng mga nagsisiyasat na bata, magre-review lang na magre-review. Tapos marami silang options like what you mentioned, hindi naman mabagyo doon sa lugar ko, di kawayan na lang ako. Yeah?
You provide options.
Marami kang options.
And this is where you can have sisterhood agreements, di ba?
Naging systematic na.
Places that we have the land, that can be your extension ng high-value agribusiness.
Saka science-based na.
Oo.
Expertise-based na.
Yes,
Hindi na YouTube-based.
Hindi na.
Hindi kasi maraming teaching sa YouTube. In fairness naman.
Marami din natuto.
Marami rin natuto. But this now is, may mathematics of it,
Yes.
may science of it. Parang,
So you're saying yung sisterhood, Yusef, pwede ang Manila kung have a sisterhood with
city or
municipality.
where you can bring your students or your students to have this business model, and yun yung maging incubation area niya. So for example, we are talking with DRT.
Doon nga rin sa Bulacan.
Ang laki ng lupa dyan, pero walang opportunity. So they have 100 hectares. So this is where both Manila, maybe, and DRT can have this projectized approach of partnership. And so some of your students who may want to engage in farming but do not have access to the land can engage in the business incubation project na ginagawa din ni High Value ngayon para meron siyang mentorship.
Or even do business directly with DRT na eh.
Yeah.
So direct.
Yeah. Oo. You can. It's just, I mentioned that lang because we are working with UP Technology Management Center para tulungan din sila. So there are different models. What we're saying is that the information has to be made available to all. Because hindi mo alam kung paano gagamitin ng bata o ng tao yung
someday.
Information niya.
Yes. And we are de-risking also the investment. So that's the beauty of this exercise. And water system, eto, simple lang yung ginawa nung ano.
Available lahat yan eh.
Yeah.
Oh, hindi siya rocket science equipment eh. Oh.
Yes, Mayor. So, sige.
Matter of learning it lang eh.
Mm.
To
Maximize.
integrate. Usually, ang skill set na natututunan, academic,
So,
through your writings and
Yes.
ano tawag yun? Journal.
Oo,
Yeah,
journal.
journal ng ahensya.
Yes, so ano lang, sulat lang yan. Hindi nila nakikita o nababasa because it's not readily available.
Available.
So what we did, Mayor, was to really go down to the farm level and talk to the real farmers. Ano ang ginagawa ninyo? And then how do you do it? So, this proud father was saying, I was able to send my children to school. In fact, summa cum laude yung anak ko nung graduate sa Diliman. I mean, something like that. That you can really help yourself with all this ability to empower communities and people. So, this is the water system naman. Simple lang ginawa niya. In fact, sabi ko, gawan nyo na nga lang ng terms of reference yung ginawa niya. Kasi hindi din ma-visualize kung sa libro. Pumunta kayo. So, one of our teams are there now. Binibilang yung mga distansya.
Correct. Yung distansya ng lote, ng tanim,
Oo.
sa volume ng water,
Oo.
sa kakayanan ng makina to pump out a certain distance.
Yes.
Kasi may water flow, you lose the power as you progress with line.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
anong uri ng
Tsaka drip pa yan, Mayor.
Oh, kaya nga importante kasi
Hindi
talaga
siya
na.
agricultural engineer.
Oh, malaking bagay.
You know, these are experiences that has to be...
Pang car wash to eh.
Hindi,
Diba?
Pressure washer eh.
Pwede mo gagawin sa urban.
Ayan, oh, yung mga ganyan.
So yan yung mga
Robet, the distance. This is a very important thing for any John Doe's and Mary. Basic, you went back to basic. Hindi yung pag tinanim mo yung
buto.
sibling, yung ano,
Seedlings.
siblings, buto. Bala na yan, tatanim yan, lupa yan eh.
Buhay na kung
Ito to.
Yeah. So the practical application of science is being provided to communities that will be part
Ayan, oh, with that, makakapag-mathematics ka na ng production. No? Kasi per square meter of bench, makukwenta mo na. Viable ba? Feasible ba?
In 2 weeks, 3 weeks, yung levels mo ba, gaano kataas?
Or unless it's your habit to feed yourself.
Yes, can also.
But if it can be done also. Nakatipid ka lang in terms of cost sa grocery mo. Other than that, pagka gusto mo into production, yun yung mga kakailanganin mo talaga. Totoo.
So, ito yung mga trainings naman natin pag
Microgreens tayo.
Kasama na
Doon sa atin
yung
dito.
bombin. Kasi pinopromote namin yung consumption natin ng vegetables. Hindi tayo kumakain masyado ng gulay eh.
Mahal din kasi.
Mahal kasi.
Fluctuating
So, ito na yung pagkakataon natin na pakainin natin yung sarili natin and communities with the reliable supply system. So, kung mo is not rocket science, iso mo lang yan, makakatulong pa dun sa farmers sa next crop niya. So all these things are available in the tray naman yung management. So, yan yung mga trays. Sa kwan yan sa, where's this? Palawan. May mga ganun silang projects na containerized vegetable production lang.
Yung pinapakain sa baka ngayon, yung soya, hina-hydroponic nila, magiging kakaroon ng leaf. Tapos per tray nila hinahango, yung pakain sa baka. Imbis na regular soya lang, nag-added value. Kasi tinubo eh. Tapos in a week or two, lagi kami.
Meron na production.
Saka mas malalaki yung kambing, manok, saka
Saka,
source of protein.
Meron pa isa dito, yung black soldier fly. I don't know if you've heard of it. Mga
bangaw.
They culture it. They dry yung maggots. Because that is, pag pinulverize mo siya, 40-45% protein. That is BSF. And yun yung pinapakain sa mga isda. Sa mga alimango, di ba may mga fattening tayo ng alimango, alimasa. And even for chicken.
Marami yun.
Marami.
So,
Padala mo nga yung poultry sa smoking.
Smoke mountain na.
so the last item, since you mentioned bamboo,
Bamboo,
we had this meeting naman sa Taguig because they want provincial and they have the Laguna Lake to work with. So we work with several bamboo that can, do carbon capture.
Cesar. I told you.
CO2. Carbon.
Talagang right direction tayo.
Yeah. So we had some studies documented what variety would give you the best because the nutritional content also of the leaves can be fed to your animals, to your small ruminants. Kambing, to a certain extent, mixture mo sa pagkain ng baka. So nothing is put to waste. And so this model, sige, we call it Sustainable Agroforestry Farm Enterprise. Food, feed, fuel naman ang perspective niyan. So everything can be utilized. The leaves would be useful for your ruminants. Next. And then, it can also help address yung soil erosion plus multiple income source for the farmers. So, etong model na to, na naka-integrate yung mongpin, yung bamboo with teams, bamboo with cowpea, etc., etc. The goal here is to use unproductive lands or idle lands, which is all over the country, para mabalik ulit sa pagtatanim. And the only way for us to do that is to help the soil rejuvenate through this falling leaves plus the nitrogen fixing element from the mongbean, which will meet both food, feed, fuel. So food in this context, feed para doon sa mga grasses, and then fuel if they will use the bamboo. Sige, next. This is just on the sequestration part because
Sige, balik ako.
there may be some inquiry on the sequestration. So this is a study by the Australian National University na kung pagsasamahin yung ibang crops other than monocropping, what do we get from it? So these are combination. Kaya ang tawag naman natin is multi-story cropping systems. Sige. So, this will also help us address yung mga farmlands at na bundok tapos magkali yung pagtatanim nila para merong sustainability yung mga farm areas na yun. So, these are a combination of basic food system, may variants nun siya. Agro-livestock integration, salt-free, vegetable, fruit, and forestry, or salt-for smallholder fruit-based livelihood. So these are different management systems looking at the land as a resource and how to now put various crops into the landscape. So parang landscape management naman po yan. It's agroforestry-based and low-cost, so we can address both soil conservation and food production. These are information that is available to the community. So, pag nakita nyo yung isang example, yung grupo nila Ardan, kasi pinaggawa natin, farmer-to-farmer connectivity from Cordillera, pinapunta natin sila sa Davao del Sur. No, the same situation. And so, dito makikita natin na yung isang lugar, pabagsak yung pagtanim nila. No? So, pag umulan yan, pababa yung lupa, pati yung fertilizer nila pababa. So, it's lost investment. And so that's the traditional farming model that we see. This was a project that was launched in Ilocos Norte last year. So we can work with communities and local government units so they can also offer various income sources for the communities. So, nilaunch mo natin last year. This is also in connection to the hub and spokes model for your seedlings production while waiting for the bamboo to grow and provide you that income source. So, sinakay na rin natin siya sa Tatak Pinoy para meron tayong genuinely Filipino products that we can create out of these crops as we go along to value addition. So, these are the sites where we have started the SAFE system. And we will look at various typologies para makita natin yung combination at how it can help address poverty and income streams as the local government partners with other entities, including the private sector.
Ang pangalan niya, Bimba.
BIMA po.
Bima.
Isa po yun sa tissue culture plant, what we call this, tissue culture planting material. So, yan yung mga project sites natin. Go ahead. Sige, wala na. Yan. So,
Ito yung mga Bima yan. Yan yung-
opo. Yan po yung sa isang cooperative sa Ilocos Sur. That is a 3-year-old bamboo na galing lang po sa ganito, Mayor. Tissue culture. So, makikita nyo, nandun yung mga manok sa dulo. So, they can have additional income while waiting for the bamboo to grow. So that will provide reliable source of income if you want free-range chicken, etc. So, ang dami ko kasing lupa na hindi nagagamit. At ang tanong parati, ang taas ng importation natin, ba't hindi tayo magtanim? But in some places, you cannot simply plant because the soil is degraded.
Yeah.
So you have to rejuvenate, rehabilitate, and come up with ways that people can earn rather than pressure na naman sa'yo yung labor. So, yeah, these are the models. Ayan. So, on a bigger note, this is the framework of SAFE to mitigate climate change, to work on climate adaptation, to develop farm enterprises and livelihood, and to engage in partnerships and financing. So, incidentally, the Asian Development Bank and the GIZ is working with us to develop models which will be attractive also to international and partners that would invest in developing these areas. So kami ay nasa modeling lang kasi maliit lang naman pera ng gobyerno. But the science part is something that we are injecting so that communities will not end up like laborers now. They can be part and parcel of the development process. Since this can be IP lands, which they own the land and they have the territorial instrument to do so, only that they have to scale and make it sustain. So that's the social dimension lens over and above the environment and the financing. So dito naman, medyo moving forward, this is where we now bring in again the science. May mga halaman na magkakaibigan at magkakaaway.
Talaga? Kampi-kampi din?
Kampi din. Kasi yung sa nature talaga, sa nature talaga. May selection process.
May alliances, di ba?
Hanggang sa nature.
May coalition din.
Diba? That's evolution, diba? So kasi yung iba pwedeng mag-introduce ng peste, yung iba hindi. So coexistence. And so doon sa period na walang tanim o walang harvest, dyan mahirap ang tao. Dyan walang hanap buhay. And so the intervention that we are offering through SAFE is to make sure that may multiple sources of income ang farmer. They just have to group themselves and work together. So, kung type 1 ang klima, so eto po yung sa Luzon, no? Northern Luzon, eto yung mga pwedeng itanim sa panahon ng January to December. So, magkakaiba yan. And then, nakalagay sa baba yung ulan. So, tinitignan nila kung kailan may ulan, saka sila nagtatanim. So, they are dependent on water, especially kung hindi ito irrigated. And so, the system to provide irrigation or fertigation is one of the interventions that ginagawa din natin. We can solve the entire problem, but we have to work with the local government units again. Plus, the community that will buy the produce. So, yun po. Next. So, eto po yung income stream niya. Kung iba naman ang itatanim, may mga fruit trees ka na dyan. So, from December to January and September to October, munggo can be year-round actually. So si munggo, since imported naman yung binibili natin karamihan, why don't we plant munggo? And we only need around 50,000 hectares. So that was
To produce the demand.
to meet the sufficiency level. Oo. So you can produce anywhere naman, but mostly ang concentration kasi dito sa climate type ng Luzon. So regions 1, 2, 3. So this is the diversification of income and the multi-story cropping system. Bamboo is being highlighted here kasi we need a nurse crop. Ang nurse crop mo kasi and for insurance crop will provide the shade and the microclimate. Nag-iiba kasi ang klima pag may bamboo. Pansin nyo, mas malamig.
Mas malamig.
Oo. And so that is more tolerable for plants to grow
Across. Talaga. All
So,
genetics. Plant. Kumbaga, generally yung
generally,
mga
plants
halam.
that would need some shade or partial shading, they can. Like for example, if we integrate vanilla, so di ba vine naman si vanilla, magtatanim ka lang in between. So dito ngayon si Madre de Cacao, dyan siya tutubo, dyan si vanilla. Or black pepper. So we can have several combinations depending on the investment appetite of the group. So that's what we're saying. We're bringing the science and we have the economics to show this. So in some cases, they would say, where do we sell our bamboo? How do we do it? Or where do we...
That's Indonesia.
Opo.
Hmm.
No, we
Di
have
ba
one.
ito sa ginawa
We
Indonesia
have
or
one in
Thailand?
Palawan.
This one?
Yung structure?
Yung structure na yan?
Yes. We have one in Palawan.
Alam
They're
ko.
helping the Tagbanwa.
Okay.
So,
I saw also...
Indonesia is also doing that extensively.
Extensively.
Pero hindi naman papaiwan ng Pinoy. So if you see some of the communities, may mga international architects that are working with Filipino groups that can help you produce and provide that kind of infrastructure. So what we're saying is that this can be your insurance crop. Kasi cash crop is yung cash mo lang. Pero pang habang buhay yan, you have a bamboo that can outlast you 50 years. So, yun yung salin lahi na the parents or the children can go in. Again, the business model has to be solid, and firm. So, yan yung mga business models natin. May calamansi integration, and then may launching, plus, ito yung tinanim namin recently sa Ilocos with the governor. 10 hectares was allocated by the Batak municipality, Batak City. Ito yung landfill nila. Inabandon na landfill. Ito yung sa public-private partnership naman in Bohol. Ito yung, you would see the irrigation there. Pabagsak, pababa na yung tubig kasi wala nang puno. And so, we have to intervene with the provincial government. Yan yung state ng ating mga areas sa labas ng Metro Manila. Kalbo-kalbo na talaga. Pero naka-declare yan na forest land.
Okay.
Sige. So, ito yung mga areas natin sa DA station. These are the partnerships that we are working with. LGUs, DTI, DNR, NAPOCOR, NIA, private sector, GIZ, and Office of the Presidential Advisor on Reconciliation. So banks are also coming in to look at it as a viable business. Kung napondohan nga nila noon yung mga rubber plantations, this is where it really is, yung carbon na nga lang is additional income. Ang income source mo nandun sa combination mo ng crops. Because we can also do processing. So, yeah. So, these are some of the models. So, you can do this model.
Bamboo and calamansi.
Yan. Yung moringa naman ho, papunta sa nutraceuticals. Or yung moringa, breadsticks. Yeah, pandesal. So this information are available, Mayor, as we deep dive and engage with the local government. So, yeah, thank you, and that summarizes the program of high value clubs and urban agriculture. So to
Thank
get
you.
started, we want your full support po sana.
Oh, we were very interested. It is in our radar. For future, future proofing na to eh. Yung goal namin as a highly urbanized city. And at the same manner, giving practical experience and learning experience for the next sets of Batang Maynila. That spaces in their respective that can be utilized. Alam mo yung maliliit, kung nagtanim naman, halimbawa, may isang individual nagtanim ng at nakapagpo-produce at least 1 kilo man lang, 1 million yung nagtanim. 1 metric ton yun, tama ba? These are not, sabi ko, hindi siya rocket science. Matter of perseverance and interest. Kaya napansin mo kanina tinanong ko, kung halimbawa ba yung bata mag-i-involve, mabibigyan ng grade under the DepEd. Kasi may value added sa kanya. Ayun lang. Thank you for your time.
Yung kadiwa na rollout nyo,
Kailan tayo?
kailan tayo? Yung
Yes,
sa
Mayor, yung
gulay at saka sa P20.
Yung P20, yun yung, kasi yung kadiwa ng Pangulo, yan yung madaming commodities.
Yeah.
Pero na sumasakay din po dyan yung P20, which is the rice program na po. So yun yung...
I was there
Yeah.
during the...
Yes, po. So, ang ano natin, Mayor, kasi ang... Aanihan na naman po kasi tayo ng March. So, marami pa po tayong bigas sa NFA, lalo na particularly for regions 3 to 4A, 4B, Mindoro. So, kailangan po natin talaga ng support ng ating mga LGUs, especially now with the expansion. So, ang ginagawa po kasi natin, nakikipag-directly coordinate na po talaga kami with the LGUs para direkta na po sana na, kasi kung kami po yung magde-deliver, kami pa po yung magbibenta. Medyo, ito nga,
Tumataas yung cost.
medyo mabagal yung rollout. So, ang ano namin, kung ma-identify na sana na, ang alam namin, of course, the LGU is much more attuned and much more particular sa targeting. And yun nga, aside from the vulnerable sector, yung pati yung mga TODA, yung ating mga minimum wage earners, yun po yung gusto sana namin i-assist po kami at yung pagta-target po, kumbaga yung pati po sana dun sa logistics, since wala na pong subsidy ang program. Dati po kasi merong hinihingi pa kaming additional subsidy from the LGU, 650 na. Kasi nga 33 pesos po natin binibili yan from NFA. So, pag binibenta natin ng 20, yung 13, hinahati po natin subsidy with LGU. Ngayon po, wala na. So, fully, if you're gonna...
Logistics na lang ang support.
Kumbaga, the logistics, the selling, targeting, kung saan po nyo gustong ibigay. Pero definitely sana po yung nandun sa lower bidder.
Yes.
Yun ang ano natin. Kasi sila po yung may kailangan. Kasi yung iba naman, di naman bumibili talaga ng 20. Kasi particular sila with the quality. Pero kung dun nga sa gusto natin subsidize, o makinabang sa subsidy niya. We're really asking for the help of the LGU.
May sinabit po ako din, proposed areas.
Sige. You launch it. Okay kami.
Itong last
Sa bulay.
mayor, merong target kasi kami na i-roll out yan with the co-ops and the LGUs.
Ano yan?
So,
Stationary o...
Semi-permanent po siya.
Pwede siyang
Kasama kasi yung gulay dahil ang ina-anticipate namin, there will be several gulay that will be coming in. And it would be nice to complement it sa distribution. So eto mo, we were thinking na Manila can be our partner and put this up in areas na semi-permanent siya. Mga 200 square meters ang kailangan lang para mailagay siya year in, year out, nag-ooperate siya.
Okay.
So, ang context po niyan, yung upland vegetables, kasama natin yung grupo.
May bagsakan.
Parang bagsakan po, wholesale ang
Ang presyo.
presyo.
Pero-
Kasi yung yung management nung ano kasi, nung price, beyond us, di ba? Sa Local Price Coordinating Council kasi it's the LGU that handles it. Pero ang intervention namin is from the farm gate price to the wholesale price. So, wholesale price,
Direkta sa consumers.
direkta sa consumers. O kung you have your retail groups, it's up to the local government to operationalize it. Ang importante, may source sila. Year in, year out. So, yung isang co-op natin kaya 50 tons per day, 40 tons per day. So, isang co-op pa lang yun. So, kaya kami nagkukwenta din, dahil kaya namin punuan yung seedlings, pagdating naman sa commercial production, ang tanong nila is, pwede bang nakakonect kami sa markets?
Okay, mag-usap kayo ha. Okay yan ha.
Yusek, may cold storage
Sige.
to, no?
Okay tayo.
Meron po. Meron po.
May next pa si...
Okay.
Sige.
Isa natin to.
Pwede ba yung photo, Mayor?
Oo naman.
Please.
I-roll out na natin to.
Oo.
Okay yan kadiwa eh.